Number one, let's start with the refresh rate. So the Samsung A16 has a 90 Hz refresh rate, while the Samsung Galaxy A36 has a 120 Hz refresh rate. So definitely a much faster and smoother refresh in the two phones. Number two is going to be the RAM. The base model of the A16 has 4 gigs of RAM, whereas the A36, the base model, has 6 gigs. Now, there supposedly are other models of the A36 that will have 8 and even up to 12, but if you go on Samsung.com, the base model they're selling in the US has 6 gigs of RAM. Difference number three is going to be in the expandable storage. With the A16, you can expand the storage up to 1.5 terabytes using a micro SD card. However, on the A36, it does not support a micro SD card. You cannot expand the storage any higher than what it comes with, and they're both going to come with 128 gigs of internal storage. That's the base model. And again, there supposedly are models that will be available in 256, but Samsung.com is only promoting the 128 gig models. Difference number four is going to be in the rear cameras. First of all, you'll see that the A16 has the individual cutouts for the cameras, whereas the A36 has this new camera bump design, very similar to what you find on the Google Pixel 9 series. The A16 has a 5 megapixel ultra wide camera, it has a 50 megapixel wide angle camera, and it has a 2 megapixel macro camera. Now on the A36, however, it has an 8 megapixel ultra wide camera, a 50 megapixel wide angle camera, and a 5 megapixel macro camera. So two of the three cameras are going to be upgraded on the A36 with that better ultra wide angle camera and that better macro camera. Next category is going to be in the selfie camera. The A16 has a 13 megapixel selfie camera, whereas the A36 has a 12 megapixel selfie camera, so a little bit higher on the A16. The next difference is going to be in the IP rating. The A16 has an IP54 rating, which is limited dust protection and splash protection, but cannot handle being submerged in water, whereas the A36 has an IP67 rating, which is dust and splash resistant, but it can also be submerged for a small period of time without being impacted heavily. The next difference is going to be in the super fast charging. The A16 supports up to 25 watt fast charging, whereas the A36 can support up to 45 watt fast charging, which is a big difference. Now they both have the same battery. They're both a 5,000 milliamp battery, but obviously A36 is going to charge much faster. The next difference is going to be in the software. The Samsung A16 is running One UI 6.1, whereas the A36 is one of the first devices aside from the S25 devices that is running the One UI 7, which is Samsung's new operating system. And just to show you some of the differences, the icons are a lot different. They're all refreshed. There's also a new control panel when you swipe down from the top on the A16 versus the A36. You can see A36 takes you right to notifications, and you swipe left to get to the new control panel, whereas this is the older look for the A16. So you're getting that new software and just that refresh of the OS on the A36. The next difference will be in the video output. Now, if we go to the camera and we go to video recording and we go to the rear camera, you're going to notice that the A16 can output a max of FHD plus at 30 frames per second, which is basically 1080p 30 frames per second, whereas the A36 can output UHD 30 frames, which is 4K video up to 30 frames per second. So you're going to be able to shoot in 4K on that A36. There's some other nuances as well that are going to be different. The A36 also allows you to do a little bit more with slow-mo video versus the A16. The next difference is a niche feature that a lot of people who have used Samsung phones for years are familiar with. It is the Good Lock app that allows you to bring more customization to your phone. This app is supported on the A36, but it is not supported on the A16. Now, for those of you that end up getting the A36 model, if you want to test out this really cool app, you go to the Samsung store and you type in Good Lock, and this app allows you to bring so much extra customization to the phone, change your menus, add more themes, customize your own themes. It allows you to do a lot of extra things, and it is only supported on the A36 model. Alright guys, so this brings us to the end of our list. Those were the 10 differences between the A16 and the A36. Now I just want to share a couple of the things that are similar with these two phones. They both rock a 6.7-inch display. They're both going to have a Super AMOLED display as well, so brightness and everything is going to look the same. They both have the same size battery, 5,000 milliamps, and they both support NFC, which means you can use Samsung Pay on both phones. These are two great phones, but they definitely differ in the specs. The A16 is considered an entry-level Samsung, whereas the A36 is considered a mid-range Samsung, and that's why you're getting those upgraded cameras. You're getting the new software. You're getting the faster watt charging. A lot of the extras are because that's what Samsung brings at that middle tier. Now, price-wise, if you bought this just straight out from Samsung, the A16 is going to be $199. A36 is going to come in at $399. I want to encourage you to go to Samsung.com because they are offering a lot of great deals that people are not really familiar with. One of those deals is you can trade in your older phones and get a little bit money. You can trade in your older phones for a discount on one of these newer phones. In fact, if you had an A35 and you wanted to upgrade to the A36, they're offering a $150 credit for trading in that old phone. Now, that is at the time of filming this video, so if you watch this in a year, that could be different, but as of today, which is April 10th, you can get a $150 credit for trading in your old A35 device. Same goes for the A15. The credit, I think the credit is $75 to $100 off. So I'll link both of these on screen, and I'll also link them in the description as well. When you buy on Samsung.com, you can trade in older phones to get a discount. You can also take advantage of Samsung's financing. So let's say you did want to get an A36 and you don't have $400 to drop on it today. You can do Samsung's payment plan and pay, I think, like $15 or $16 a month and get the phone shipped to you tomorrow. So that way, you don't have to wait until you have all the money. You can just order it and just make payments. The third benefit of buying on Samsung.com is that they do offer discounts on accessories when you buy the phone from them. So they have a deal right now on the Galaxy Fit Watch, which is their fitness tracker. You can get it for, I think, $45 when you buy one of these phones. They also have a big discount on the headphones when you buy one of these phones through Samsung.com. So check out those on-screen links so you can see what deals they're offering. And if you need to upgrade right now, obviously a lot of people will go into their carrier and try to upgrade through them, but understand Samsung offers financing, they offer trade-in, they offer discounts on accessories, they even offer their own insurance as well. So just know that you have this other option available in case you want to get one versus buying it directly from your carrier. You can buy an unlocked model and just pop in the SIM card and then you're good to go. So I'm curious to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below about the differences and if there's one you're more excited about. Obviously the A36 really is weighted heavy in terms of the features, but your budget might tell you, hey, this phone is good enough and for what it does is all I need. Let me know in the comment section down below, are you planning on upgrading to one of these two phones? And let me know what phone you're rocking right now. I'm curious to hear what phones you guys are currently using, all right? If you got value out of this video, make sure you bump that like button down below. If you're not already a subscriber, hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more videos. I'll link on screen here to my playlist. I have a playlist that has all my A16 videos and all my A36 videos. Check out those playlists to see more videos on these devices. And I'll catch you in the next video that comes up. Thanks again for watching. Take care, and as always, have a good one.